Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Player Zone YouTube channel. Welcome to our semi-final prediction for Euro 2024. We've got all the way to the semi-finals. I feel like it is flowing past this tournament. The quarterfinals, a lot went to extra time. We had a penalty shootout in there as well. Really, really exciting. But we've got some massive games left here in the semi-finals now. The Netherlands and England. We've got Spain and France. Two sort of pragmatic sides, two attacking sides. So really, really interested to see how these games work out. And as such, my predictions were made very, very difficult here. But off the back of a decent prediction in the quarterfinals, we had 29 points coming into the quarterfinals, added 5 more points there to bring our total to 34 of our prediction points so far in this tournament. If you're somehow new to the channel, you haven't watched the Premier League predictions, the Champions League predictions, or the predictions so far at the European Championships, it's 3 points for the correct scoreline, 1 point for the correct result, and obviously 0 for neither. So I'll take my 5 points from the quarterfinals, and now with 2 more games, add a few more points there to our tally. With that being said, ladies and gents, before we get into the video, if you enjoy it, please make sure to smash a like on it, subscribe to the Player Zone channel for more videos like this, and let's now get straight in to these predictions. The first semi-final is Spain and France, and this one is going to be massive. Spain obviously come into this game as the favourites. They've been the best team so far at Euro 2024. The only team not to have lost a game so far as well. They've gone and been a 100% win record after their great 2-1 win versus Germany. And to beat the host nation, to beat arguably the second best in the competition, they are in prime position here. Everyone believes they are the best team in the tournament, but they come up against a tournament quality side like France that we know have been to World Cup finals. They're obviously a dangerous side and always tough side to beat. So it's going to be a different game with 2 different philosophies as well. We'll talk about that towards the end of these predictions here. Looking at France himself, a few changes will have to be made. Lenormand and also Dani Carvajal are suspended. We thought Alvaro Morata was given another yellow card, but he was not. So he will be available for this game, so the skipper will play. But there'll have to be some rotation at the back. Expect Nacho to go from the start alongside Laporte as well. And then Jesus Navas should slide in at right back to replace the veteran experience of Dani Carvajal as well. Importantly, for those 2 players, they've already played the tournament. So France's rotation against Albania, Nacho playing the first game and obviously coming on halfway through. And the game versus Germany has helped. They've got some minutes under their legs in the tournament. They are fresh, but still not going to be, I guess, on ice or cold or coming to this game here. They've seen some tournament football and at least are up to speed with the tournament so far. For Spain at the moment, really, really exciting football. We've talked a lot about it. I especially have talked a lot about it. That tiki-taka style is still present this side, but the use of the flanks and willingness to cross the ball and use pace and counter-attack is there in this side. They're a multi-faceted side, multi-directional side, and it's a side that, out of all the teams left, looked the most cohesive. They work together as a unit. The defense 4, really, really solid. We haven't seen many mistakes from them. We see the attacking qualities of the likes of those fullbacks there, especially Marc Cucurella getting high up that left-hand channel. We know how good Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams have been as well. And the unselfish play of the likes of Alvaro Morata, who knows he's not the superstar of this side, will drop in to create opportunities and channels for those young wingers to go and attack from. They've been fantastic so far in this tournament. Obviously, Pedri will miss with that knee injury picked up, but Dani Olmo has been one of the great finds this tournament off the bench for Spain. So that midfield trio has been fantastic so far. Rodri sitting in front of that back 4, controlling the pace of the game, being the Rodri type best, where, as I said in the recap of that game, that quarterfinal, you can't really quantify what he does. It's a just unspoken thing, but you see he impacts winning. He makes winning possible. He makes winning plays where he breaks the game up. He controls the ball midfield, never makes the wrong pass. And secondly, doesn't make many mistakes either. It makes it really, really hard to dispossess him and really hard to overrun a Spanish midfield. Fabian Ruiz in there as well, been fantastic. And obviously, as I said, Dani Olmo will be playing the 10 there. So they've been a really solid side. Most chances created, least chances conceded as well. They've easily been the best team of this tournament so far. And in, I guess, in the power ranking, since match day 1, they have set the bar as the strongest side in the tournament. In opposition to that, you look at the French side, very underwhelming. However, they get the job done. Didier Deschamps has made this side just a tournament side. They're really hard to beat. Portugal were much better than France in the quarterfinal, but France get through on penalties. They've only scored or had 3 goals go in their net. 1 from Kylian Mbappe penalty, 2 on goals. They're yet to score from open play, yet they are here in a UEFA Euro semi-final. And that's the way they go about things. They make themselves hard to beat. The back 4, William Saliba, Dale Upamecano, Mike Maignan, that sort of core, fantastic. We obviously know how good Jules Koundé has been in the last 2 games, and Theo Hernandez started this tournament on fire from fullback as well. And when you've got a midfield trio of Adrien Rabiot alongside N'Golo Kanté in that midfield, alongside Aurélien Tchouameni as well, all defensively orientated midfielders, the defensive structure's there. They're very hard to break down. They don't concede many clear-cut opportunities. But in return, they don't create much either. Kylian Mbappe said he can't really make those runs in behind anymore because no one can play those balls to him. He doesn't have anyone feed him chances. And as such, he's sort of gone under the radar this tournament, sort of disappeared in many regards and hasn't been the Kylian Mbappe we're used to. However, in knockout football, in big games, we know how he can turn up and change a game. So it'd be interesting how that, whole matchup works. The pragmatic, defensively orientated French versus the attacking, free-flowing, progressive Spanish side. It's two contrasting styles of football going up against each other. For the Spanish, the key players for me, obviously I start with the wingers. I've talked about them all tournament long. I've raved about them, but they continue to deliver. Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams are the difference maker for this side here. They're the pace, direct running to get in behind. They stretch defences and they cause a lot of problems for oppositions. And once again, they'll be so important to stretch this French back line, which has dealt with a lot of different types of footballers so far in this tournament. They've dealt with what Portugal threw up against them. They dealt with the likes of Austria in the group stage and that high pressing as well. And they've just managed to get through games. The Belgium side, more slower build-up play. The Portuguese side, you look to different avenues to goal. Austrian side, pressing from the front, high energy, high intensity. They've dealt with many different styles and they've always come out on top. So can these wide players, Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams, can they stretch the likes of Jules Koundé, the likes of Teo Hernandez? Can they get William Saliba to make mistakes and out of position? Because so far that back four has looked the strongest back four in the tournament. But I know Nico Williams, I know Lamine Yamal, they're smart to having the ball, to play the ball. We saw how Lamine Yamal set up Dani Olmo, that vision to play the ball to the edge of the area, cutting that ball back at the perfect time for Dani Olmo to find that opener in the game versus Germany. His ability to run in behind, Nico Williams' ability to hold the ball up with this trickery and skill, allowing Spanish players to come on and join the counter-attack. They have a counter-attacking option with their pace. They have smarts for a slow build-up type play, and their skill and the ability to go down the bar line, deliver into the box, create so many different avenues to goal. And that's why Spain have been so dangerous in this tournament. They're really hard to read because they're young. They're fearless. They go at the ball. They go at the bar line. They'll run directly at defenders and cause problems. And as such, it's made them really, really hard to stop. So those two will be pivotal. And also midfield, Rodri. I said it before, this guy is a winner. Doesn't lose many games of football. Only one loss in his last 58, 59 competitive games now. Something ridiculous. He doesn't lose games of football. He's a natural winner. And he controls momentum of games. Against this really defensively orientated French side, if the Spanish side can get in and control the midfield battle, if they can control the momentum of the game and the pace of the game with Rodri and Fabian Ruiz, this combination of midfield, I don't see the French having any avenue to this game here. The French want to sit in deep, absorb pressure, let the Spanish come onto them, and then counter-attack. But if Rodri and Fabian Ruiz can dictate the pace of the game and pull midfielders and defenders out of position and create chances for those forwards, Morata, Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, that's when I can see Spain getting on top. So those two midfield, for me, probably 1A or 1B, best of the tournament so far. Both of them have been fantastic. Fabian Ruiz, last two games haven't been at his best, but Rodri has lifted every single game, and he'll have to lift once again to deal with the energy and the pressure provided by that French midfield. But if any two can do it in the midfield, it's these two. So they'll be so important yet again. Control the possession, control the pace of the game, and make this French side work. Don't give up possession easily and win the ball back as quickly as possible. If those two can do that, I can see Spain cruising this game for me. You look at the French side, different sort of outlook. As I said again, more pragmatic, more defensively orientated. So for me, it's the wing backs. It's Teo Hernandez and Jules Koundé. Firstly, it's to stop Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams. It's going to be a very, very difficult job to do that. But if they can stop their momentum, stop the chance creation they get, and stop their running in behind, prevent that direct running to their skillful nature, hold them up in many regards, not allow them that freedom to run at the back line, get in behind. That goes firstly a long way. Secondly, is to get at them. They're not so accountable defensively. If these two can get forward, that's an avenue for France to find a way to attack. They're a side that's lacked a lot of creation, a lot of ingenuity in the final third, and creativity in the final third. If these guys can get forward and make it Nico and Lamine Yamal accountable defensively, or catch them out defensively, that's an avenue to goal for the French. So it's going both ways for these fullbacks. It's going to be a very, very important role at it. I touched on it last week and last game week in terms of what Marc Cucurella and Carvajal would do with Jamal Musiala as well as Florian Wirtz. It's a very similar thing here with Teo Hernandez and Jules Koundé. First, number one job is to defend and limit the chance creation for the Spanish wingers, but equally, they're younger, they're a bit more reckless, get at them. Try and catch them out, not tracking back defensively and get at this Spanish side because they're another side very, very solid defensively. But if you get some overload in wide areas, if you can create chance from wide spaces where they're not tracking back, that's a chance and avenue to goal as well. So really, really important for those fullbacks to be at their best. And obviously in midfield as well. Adrien Rabiot should come back after his suspension alongside Aurélien Tchouameni and also N'Golo Kanté. workhorses in midfield. Make it difficult, make it a scrappy midfield, not allow Rodri and Fabian Ruiz and Dani Olmo clear time on the ball, time to take a touch, get their head up, drive into spaces, make it a sort of scrap in there, shoulder to shoulder, ugly type football, because that's when the French will thrive, in an ugly sort of situation where possession isn't easy, when control of games, when Spain can't have 4 or 5 minutes in possession, in controlling the momentum of the game and controlling the pace of the game. The Spanish side will want that. They'll want to know when to go, when to hold, how to manage the game. The French want it to be chaotic. They want to have the ball at their feet for more often than possible, but also to break up the play as much as possible. And that's what those three in midfield can do. They're all defensively orientated midfielders, so go in there and make it a scrap. If they can do that, it goes a long way for the French side to make the game go deeper, make it more ugly, and that's when it plays into that French style, that pragmatic style in their favour. In the game as a whole, the first goal is pivotal. I think if the Spanish score first, I can't see the French coming and finding a way back. But if the French can score first or can make the first goal come later and later in the game or grind another 0-0, that's where I see the French getting involved. It's going to be so important for that back four and three in midfield to be so solid. Keep your shape. Don't let it be stretched. Don't be exposed by that great possession and flair that the Spanish side has. That's the advantage the Spanish side has. Attacking football, flair, playing through the lines, dynamism, direct running. That's where the Spanish will thrive. The French will thrive in it being a scrap, breaking the play up, not allowing extended periods of possession for the Spanish side, making it deeper and deeper before we get that opening goal. Because if Spain score early, the French have to come out of their shell, and that's when you can start to see gaps in this side here. Because so far in this tournament, they've relied on sitting in a shape, sitting in this great defensive shape, and denying opportunities, getting on the counter-attack, and that's their avenue to goal. And as games go deeper, as the game gets stretched, that's when they try and get their chances. Against Portugal, they were timid in the first half, actually quite poor. But as the game went deeper, Portugal 3 more numbers forward, that's when the French were getting more chances in the counter-attack. That's when the game was coming stretched. That's when they were thriving. Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele will be pivotal. These sort of direct runners, pacey players. Ousmane Dembele, fantastic off the bench versus Portugal. You expect him to start. Can he make an impact in this game? For me, Antoine Griezmann makes way. Colomboani or Marc Thuram up top, can they make a difference? It's these half chances. If someone can take a chance for the French and put the pressure on the Spanish side, I'll be interested to see how the Spanish respond, because we know if they can either get a lead, the French, or can grind this game out and make it a 0-0 for as long as possible, that's when the game's in their favour. For the Spanish, it's about being attacking. The more goals, the merrier, I think, for the Spanish. That's when they will thrive. So that's how the game will be balanced out. I think, that being said, though, I think the Spanish get on top. They're the better side. They play the better football. They've got the more skilled players. I've got Spain win this game 2-0. I think Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams will have a field day, and I feel like Alvaro Morata are waiting for a captain's type moment. I think he'll provide a goal in this game to get them over the line. So I'm going a 2-0 Spanish win for me, and Spain to make it through to Euro 2024 final. The second semi-final is the Netherlands and England. Again, very similar to our first semi-final. The Netherlands, as Ronald Koeman came and said, they want to win playing the Netherlands way. That's attacking football, that's front-footed football, pressing from the front, and playing engaging, exciting football. Whereas England is pragmatic, it's defensive, it's quite boring. A lot of people have been critical on them, but they've got here as well. Similar to the French, they've managed to get here, not playing some great football. The Netherlands come off a great come-from-behind win versus Turkey, 2-1. Fantastic 10-minute period where they turned the game around. I said it in my game recap. They've won games in so many different avenues. Coming from behind, dominating games of possession, managing games. They've done it in so many different avenues. And they've learnt from that case against Austria where they didn't manage that game well, where they let the game slide and Austria just dominated the game. They dominated the pace. They were out-pressing, outworked that game. I think they learnt from that. Virgil van Dijk has bounced back. The defence has bounced back. And Denzel Dumfries being back outside really helps as well. When you look at England, they come off a penalty shootout win over Switzerland. 1-1 in regulation and extra time, winning 5-3 on penalties. They've got a little bit about them in terms of, not really aura, but just they win moments. They're a moments team, individual brilliance type team. Jude Bellingham saves them in the round of 16. Bukayo Saka saves them in the quarterfinals. They had to wait for their first shot on target to score their first goal in both those games, and it came in the 80th minute and the 95th minute. They're a team that doesn't create much, but somehow when they go behind, they just find this extra gear to get at teams. So interesting to see how that happens. Who scores first, and how does that change and impact the course of the game. In terms of Netherlands, we've seen the key being playing with pace and playing with intensity and keep pounding away at teams, keep going at teams and attacking teams, because eventually the pressure will show. And it will be very important in this game here against a back five and a more defensive, pragmatic England side. Their key player for me is Cody Gakpo, who's obviously up there for the Golden Boot race and has been fantastic in this tournament. Obviously, he has come up against a lot of these England defenders playing in the Premier League, But the dynamism and the X factor he showed coming off that left-hand channel, jinking inside or going the bar line, has caused so many problems for so many defenders in this tournament here. And I think they don't feed him enough of the football. He gets limited touches, but when he has those touches of the football, when he can drive at defenders, that's when he looks at his game. That's what the Dutch were their best, to be honest. Didn't see much of it against Turkey. The own goal in the end sort of comes from him pressuring the defender at the back post and nearly getting a touch into it. He's up there in the golden boot race for a reason. He's been fantastic. So I think for them, finding the football as much as possible, get him running at defenders, and if you can get a bit of a break on, that's when the Dutch look at their best, winning the ball back in midfield and springing the counter-attack and getting at defenders. Because when Cody Gakpo gets his head down and can run at defenders, he looks super dangerous. And it's so hard to stop him. We know he wants to come into that right foot, but not many people can stop it. So he's number one for me in terms of importance for the Dutch. And also that midfield trio, Xavi Simons, Charlton and Tino Reinders in midfield. Young midfield, inexperienced. Not many people know much about them, but they've grown in this tournament. They've come together as a midfield trio that's really, really hard to bypass. Yes, there's no there's no Koopmeiners, there's no De Roon, there's no Frankie de Jong, but they work so well. And Charlton for me has been one of my favourite underdogs of this tournament. No one knows much about him. I don't know much about him, but he's shown a resilience in midfield to break the play up, to be bold in terms of driving the ball forward, playing the progressive pass. Him alongside Reinders, who plays a little bit deeper than he normally does at club football level, fantastic on the ball, a willingness to be progressive. That's the Dutch way, right? Go forward, take the game on. And Xavi Simons, still waiting for him to explode in this tournament. He's had good moments in games and been pivotal in different moments. But this guy's an X factor. I talked about him coming into the tournament. He is a next level player. I am so excited about the future he's got. Hasn't quite shown up in a big moment on the stage so far in this Euros. I think this could be the game, right? An England team that sits in deep, sits near to their own area. Who can break that apart? Who can make those moments happen? Xavi Simons. We see it at RB Leipzig multiple occasions, driving low blocks, creating magic moments out of nothing. He's the player for me that could change this game for the Netherlands and get them going in the front foot. And I think that midfield trio, if they can get in control, they can deny Kobbie Mainoo and Declan Rice controlling the ball and a lot of possession and sideways passes. If you can get at the England back line and make them stretch and really pressurise them, that's why I think the Netherlands get on top. I think their midfield is going to be so important in this game here. England midfielders have not really dominated any games at the moment. They've had a lot of possession, sideways stuff, but they haven't really dominated in terms of being progressive and going at teams. So counter-press them, press hard at the pitch, play the Dutch way, get hard at the pitch, press England in possession, cause those wing-backs, full centre-halves and deep-line midfielders to be worried on the ball, worry them out of possession and get going the other way. Charlton, Reinders, Xavi Simons, all dangerous going forward as well. Feed the ball to Cody Gakpo. Like, these sort of players can change the game for you. And also interesting what Wout Weghorst does, coming off the bench. He's a physical player. He changed things up. When he came on against Turkey, he just caused chaos. He presses, he defends, he does a bit of everything. And it just offsets the side, and especially how boring and pragmatic and, to the script England are. Someone like Wout Weghorst can just cause some chaos and can really stretch the England back line or cause some problems for them. So interesting to see how early that Ronald Koeman introduces Wout Weghorst, because he can really be a difference in this game for me. And also on the right, that's where the danger comes to me. Denzel Dumfries has been fantastic this tournament, getting up and down that right-hand side there. Is the player that creates that second goal, that is the own goal that ends up being the winner, because he pushes on, puts a great ball in the box. He'll be so important defending, especially with England playing the five-back. There'll be a lot of overloading in wide areas, closing that down, and then going forward and attacking and getting at this England side, because, yes, wing-backs in the past have overlapped and tried to pressurise England's side, but no one does it quite like Denzel Dumfries. You see what he does at club level for Inter Milan. He's really progressive. He gets forward and causes problems, and I think he could cause England problems with this game in terms of his overlapping runs, in terms of the space they allow him on that right-hand channel there to create from that right-back position. So he'll be very important for me as well. Looking at England, they're that pragmatic side. They've gone to that five-back. Interesting, they inverted the fullbacks in many regards, because Saka was playing on the right as a left footer and then Trippier on the left as a right foot. I don't know what all that's all about. I think Luke Shaw should start in this game. I'm assuming he'll go to left wing back. I think Mark Gay will come back in to replace Konza despite his fantastic performance. And otherwise, for them, I expect to be quite the same. For them, you've got to lift for Harry Kane. I've been banging on about him all tournament, but he has been the most disappointing player at this tournament. Just flat out boring, poor, and ruining England's progression. He's playing so deep that the likes of Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka have no one to deliver the ball to. In that live watching for Switzerland, Bukayo Saka got to the bar line 3 or 4 times and cut the ball back to no one, because Harry Kane's in his own halfway line picking the ball up. Like, forget the build-up play. Play as a number 9. It's so frustrating to watch at times, because England could be better, even the boring sort of way they're playing, if they had a strike up there to put the ball to. Forget the build-up play, forget defending. Harry Kane occupy the centre halves. Because you've got like a Virgil van Dijk and Stefan de Vrij that love to play out from the back. They're pivotal in their build-up play, and they're so solid defending. They've developed one of the great centre-back partnerships here in this tournament. They're so comfortable. If you're not occupying them and causing them problems in terms of running in behind or hold-up play or physicality, there's no point. You need an Ivan Toney or Ollie Watkins to occupy the centre halves, because otherwise their job would be way too easy. They're so important for their build-up play, and they've been so solid defensively. If you're not going to be near them, there's no point playing. I think an Ollie Watkins or Ivan Toney for me has to start. I think Harry Kane cannot start this game unless he's going to put his ego aside and play up top as a proper number 9. And then looking elsewhere, Bukayo Saka. He's been the only player so far for England this tournament that is willing to drive forward, willing to create things, be progressive, get to the bar line, stretch defences. And you saw a piece of individual brilliance to save England in the quarterfinals versus Switzerland. They'll need that individual brilliance yet again. He's the only one driving forward, only one being that direct runner, only one stretching the back line. And without him, I don't see any way England can break down this Dutch side. Yes, they've had moments where they've been a bit dodgy against Austria, and at times they look stretched versus Turkey. But they're a really, really good side defensively, the Dutch, and they've grown this tournament game after game. So England need to do something to stop that. And they're a team that love to play up from the back as well. You know, he's going to come up against a really, really tough joy. Nathan Ake and then Mickey van der Ven has come on almost ritually in the 70th minute or so. So he's going to have a tough day going against two great Premier League centre halves that are fullbacks now. So it's going to be tough physically for him. But if anyone can break apart this Dutch side, anyone can create a magic moment for England, it's going to be Bukayo Saka. So a lot of onus goes onto him, even Kobbie Mainoo in midfield alongside Jude Bellingham, who have been one of the few to take the game on, to drive into spaces, open things up for England. Because outside of that, it's a lot of sideways, it's a lot of backwards, it's a lot of slow movement, and not many players taking it on. For England, you have to take the game on, because the Dutch will take the game on, they're going to attack, they're going to go at you, they're going to throw everything they've got at you. That's the Dutch way. That's what Ronald Koeman said coming into that game versus Turkey. We're going to win the Dutch way, which is attacking football, pressing from the front, overwhelmingly, chance after chance after chance. And if you're going to be pragmatic like England, sitting as a back five with two in front of Rice and Mainoo, and have Harry Kane basically sitting in your own half and have a focal number 9 option, give it up. There's no chance of beating the Dutch. I'm so positive in that. But if England can progress forward a little bit, I'm not saying play this high-paced, fly-flowing, high-pressing football, which we all hope they would. I'm just saying get out of your own half more often than not. Look to play the ball forward rather than sideways. Like I said, Luke Shaw to overlap, Bukayo Saka to overlap. Allow chances for Cole Palmer to be introduced early in the game. Don't be reactionary, Gareth Southgate. Be proactive. That's what Ronald Koeman is. He is proactive. Brings like to Wout Weghorst on early. He changed things up. He pulled Joey Veerman off in the 30th minute against Austria. He is a proactive manager that looks to try and change the game before things go out of hand. The England manager, Gareth Southgate, is reactive. He changes things after things happen. Switzerland score, he brings on 3 subs. Eza, Palmer and Luke Shaw, they all made things happen for England. I don't know how he's going to play things. For me, Harry Kane cannot start. I'd start like an Ivan Toney or Watkins, and I'd look to be more progressive. If that means somehow trying to fit Cole Palmer in there, I'm doing that. Getting Luke Shaw in there, I have to do that, because so far, for me, there's not enough width England are playing with and not enough tempo and willingness to go forward, willing to risk it to go forward, because the Dutch will do that. They create a lot of chances. I think at the back, they're so solid with Denzel Dumfries, Nathan Ake at left back, Mickey van der Ven coming on for Ake at left back, with Stefan de Vrij and Virgil van Dijk. You have to pressurise these guys. They love to be on the ball. They love to play out from the back. And if you're not going to pressurise them going forward as well, not going to create chances, they're going to be composed, going to be calm. They'll win the game by just cruising it. I think England have to take it to the Dutch. If they don't, I see the Dutch dominating this game. I think in the end it's going to be tight though, because England they're finding ways for some reason. I don't know how, but they are. They're finding ways to win games out of nothing. I've gone with a Dutch 2-1 win. I think the Dutch own the bigger moments and they take their chance. That's the key in this game. Whoever takes their chances. The Dutch have been a team that create a lot of chances. They don't take many of them. If you can take their chances early, you can own the moments, that's the side to win this game. England are a moments team. The Dutch don't really take their chances enough for me. More clinical side, the side that owns their moments, will win this game of football. I think that's the way it's going to be won or lost here. I expect England to be really defensive as such, chance to be limited. But if you can take your chance, whether it be England with their first shot on target yet again, scoring a goal to take it extra time or win the game, whether it be the Dutch being more clinical in front of goal like to Memphis Depay, Cody Gakpo, Steven Bergwijn, Xavi Simons, finishing your chance where you get it, you can win. It's a funny old game there, so opposites attracting here in the semi-final. It's really hard to predict, but I'm going to go the Dutch. I'm going to back them in here, and I've got to get them here, winning this game 2-1, and them progressing to UEFA Euro 2024 final. that being said, ladies and gents, that brings the predictions here for the semi-finals to an end. I know I've waffled, but I have so much thoughts about these games. They're very, very intriguing. Again, 2 semi-finals where you've got a proactive team and a more defensively pragmatic team. So it's going to be really exciting to see how each team reacts, how each team responds, and how each team comes out and plays this game. Will there be changes? Who will go out in the front foot? And how will these games pan out? Will there be more extra time drama, more penalty drama? We'll have to wait and see, but I just cannot wait. It's panning out to be a really, really exciting tournament, and I think these semi-finals will live up to the billing so far of the tournament. With that being said, if you enjoyed the video, guys, please smash a like on it, subscribe to the Players Stand channel for more videos, podcasts, reaction videos, a lot here on the channel, and also press that post notification bell so you know we upload here on the channel. Also, let me know in the comment section your predictions. Who's your key players? Who's going to be the ones making it away for Euro 2024 final? Let me know that all in the comment section down below. Do you agree with my predictions as well? Am I right? Am I wrong? How am I seeing the game? Let me know that. I'm loving the interaction in the comment section. Thank you for all the support here in this tournament. We're nearly at the end, but appreciate all your support throughout the tournament. It's been much appreciated. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy that coming football, and I'll see you guys for the video or podcast very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.